back, folks. Welcome to the channel Rockin' the Country. I'm Don. I've got a gift request of a song that I did sometime back, few years back. Barbara Mandrell's I Was Country When Country Wasn't Cool. And George Woodruff made a gift to the channel for me to do this one. George is a huge George Jones fan, but obviously a huge country music fan. And now I'm at the point in the channel, I'm about 8 years into doing the channel, and there are some songs are repeating, which is fine, because if they're years ago, I have a different sense about me now about country music, because I didn't grow up on it. So when I do these reactions, I don't mind hearing songs or reviewing them a second time. But this one has a special history and special meaning for me too, because one, there are a lot of folks after I did the reaction a couple years ago to this song said, I live in Louisiana, I live in Mississippi, I live in Indiana, I live wherever, and people were making fun of me for listening to country, and I kept listening to it. They were listening to punk rock, they were listening to rock, they were listening to whatever, and they were making fun of me. Well, I stood my ground, so to speak, continued loving country. I got made fun of, and now a lot of them are into country. So I was ahead of the curve, that kind of thing. And Trent Smith, giving you a special shout out as well, because he's a 17-year-old living in Fishers, Indiana. And he's been on the channel for a while, and he loves traditional country, so much so that he's made a couple gifts to the channel for me to react to them. That's how much he loves country music. And he has said in the comments too that, you know, folks sometimes make fun of him too. But hey, whatever. He's into it. He's into traditional country too, not, bro country, as I call it. And some of you do too. But George Woodruff made a gift, so thank you, George, for this gift. And for, let's see what the second time through of reacting to the song is going to yield, because there are new people on the channel now that didn't see the first reaction. So courtesy of George Woodruff. And you wanted, let's see, I picked a rendition that was live. I don't think the first one I did was live. So this is at the Roy Acuff Theater in Nashville. Now, I wonder if it's a video or not. Nope.
I remember wearing straight leg Levi's, flannel shirts even when they weren't in style.
So pretty.
I remember singing with Roy Rogers at the movies when the West was really wild. I was listening to the Opry when all of my friends were digging rock and roll and rhythm and blues. I was country when country wasn't cool.
You know, and that's where I'm at with the channel, and you guys know this. I'm absolutely convinced traditional country is going to make a comeback. And I don't mean just getting more airtime for George Jones and Hank and Willie and Patsy and such. I mean the new traditional sounding country artists that just aren't repeat drum loops and it's uncreative, but deep lyrics. And there are a lot of artists out there who have that, who are that, who sing that, who play it, who arrange that, produce it. And I'm still convinced that it's going to have a resurgence.
I remember circling the drive-in, pulling up and turning down George Jones. I remember when no one was looking, I was putting peanuts in my coat. I took a lot of kidding, 'cause I never did fit him. Now look at everybody trying to be what I was then. I was country when country wasn't cool. Ooh, I was country when country wasn't cool. I was country from my hat down to my boots.
Reminds me of Olivia Newton-John a bit.
I still act and look the wasn't cool.
It's fascinating that this arrangement here is not distinctly country. Like they could have brought in fiddle, they could have brought in steel, but they're not. They're bringing in really some R&B affectations.
They call us country bumpkins for sticking to our roots. I'm just glad we're in a country where we're all free to choose. I was country when country wasn't cool.
Hey, I was country wasn't cool. Yeah, and I was country from my hat down to my boots.
I still act and look the same. What you see ain't nothing new. 'Cause I was country when country wasn't cool.
I wonder if the audience knew George was going to show up for this.
When country wasn't cool.
They're going to go nuts. Yeah, I wonder how many seats does the Roy Acuff Theater hold? I was expecting a louder response at the end of it, but maybe it was just muted, in post production. But that was. I mean, the lyrics say it, and it was a nice song to sort of pop along to. And there were country elements. It's odd. It's ironic in a sense, or odd that it wasn't distinctly country, this song. And I wonder if that was sort of meant to be a reach out mechanism because other folks who might be turned off by a banjo or a mandolin or steel or fiddle might find this song more palatable and might be welcomed into the country listening family, if you will. But Barbara's voice is gorgeous. It was a gorgeous production in ways, very different. But the fact that George showed up on it, this was from 1981. So obviously George was in the heyday of his career. So George, that was fun. I was kind of hoping when I grabbed the live version, I was kind of hoping that it would be a video of it. But hey, it is what it is. And we got George on this one. I don't know if there is footage of that. There probably is. But am I going to rate this one? I will rate this one. And I don't know what I rated the first one as. But the number that popped into my head was a 9.0. And it may upset some of you folks that it's quote unquote just a 9, because a 9.0 is a really good song. But the instrumentation was unusual. Yeah, maybe some of you guys could speak to this that might know the history of it and such. But I love that George showed up. I was like, holy crap, George showed up on this. So, George Woodruff, you got your wish though, in a sense, because George Jones is your favorite. I wonder, and you didn't specifically request this rendition, this version, this one. I just happened to grab it and it's got your Georgie on it. So, hey, that's a beautiful full circle thing. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed that. Have a great day. I'll see you on another video. Keep rocking the country.